Well, folks, this is Steve AB4L, and I'm having quite a day with these security hacker reports. Nothing in this episode is a promotion, nor is it a recommendation. One of the tabs that opens on my browser on this machine is called Dark Reading. I'm not promoting anything, it's just one of the places that I look at. They tend to, well, you can see it over here. Like the left column there is Middle East and African news. Saudi Arabia, Africa tackles online disinformation, Kenya to TikTok. Yeah, the rest of the world is having trouble too. We don't need to be so ethnocentric. Now the one is right there. It's the featured article right at the moment. Today is March 28, 2024. Pervasive LLM, large language models. In other words, a kind of AI software. Pervasive LLM hallucinations expand code developer attack surface. The videos I've already made today have to do with how you can, well, one of them was how they sneak code into the Python PyPy repository. This is actually, in a certain sense, in the same vein, but more direct. I started to read it. The tendency of popular AI-based tools, would that be like from Microsoft? To recommend non-existent code libraries. I'm a developer. I'm programming with Node.js or Python, and I got a development software, maybe from Microsoft. I'm doing Windows code. And I need a new library because I don't want to reinvent code that's already been figured out and should be bug-free. To do some function that is not my main interest, like how to go and get something from a computer. I don't need to code that. I want to do what the main purpose of my app is. The tendency of popular AI-based tools to recommend non-existent code libraries. I've heard other people saying the AI makes it up as it goes. Offers a bigger opportunity than thought to distribute malicious packages. Now the one about PyPy was exactly, they have stopped allowing new user creations, new accounts. They're trying to go through what they already, the tens of thousands of libraries they have to figure out which ones have malicious code in them. They're not, and they said that the people dropping these in are using automated. They create an account, they drop a library, and they disappear. And it's typo squatted, which means that the name sounds like a very popular one. So you might get it by mistake. So let's see what's going on here. So I make a program with malicious code in it, and I sell it to 10,000 people, and their computers get screwed. Their passwords get stolen. Their money, their cryptocurrency disappears. Software developers' use of large language models presents a bigger opportunity than according to research. The study of LLMs from LLM security vendor, large language model security vendor. That means they're specializing already in security aspects of large language models. You know, AI research has been around for a decade. It may have burst on the scene in the last year, but people have been working at it for a while. Lasso security? What's a lasso? You know, ride 'em cowboy. We'll get back to that. LLM security vendor Lasso Security is a follow-up to a study from, is a follow-up to a report last year on the potential for attackers to abuse LLMs, a tendency to hallucinate. So there's a link. ChatGPT. I don't know. Who's ChatGPT? I don't keep up with it. I'm not interested. OpenAI. Oh, they've been in the news a lot, haven't they? And that's Microsoft there. Well, yeah. ChatGPT hallucinations, open developers to supply chain malware attacks. All right, so this was from June 2023. So it's not a year later. AI package hallucination. But wait a minute. Here's what was interesting to me. The previous study focused on the tendency of ChatGPT to fabricate the names of code libraries, among other fabrications, when software developers asked the AI-enabled chatbot help in the development. How do I code this? And then it tells you how to do it. Only it's telling you BS. In other words, the chatbot sometimes spews out links. You click on the link like I just did, and you know, the way things are, takes you to something, to non-existent packages on public code repositories. I start out talking about like PyPy. Python package index, or GitHub. Let's build from here. There's all kinds of code examples and stuff. See, there's code right there. Now, security researcher Barleñado. Now, as soon as I got to that, I said Israeli. As soon as I got to that, I said Israeli. Not the family name, the bar part. It's a guess. Author of the study and now at Lasso Security found that attackers, the bad guys, could easily drop an actual malicious package at the location to which ChatGPT points and give it the same name as the hallucinated package. Now, when I read that, I thought that suggests that the ChatGPT doesn't make up something new every time. It has like a list of things that it draws on that are all fake. Next paragraph. Leonardo's follow-up research examined the pervasiveness of the package hallucination problem across 4 different large language models. He also tested each model's proclivity to generate hallucinated packages across different programming languages and the frequency in which they generated I guessed right. I haven't read this. And they generated the same hallucinated package. See, that's the chink in the armor. That's the single point of failure. I guessed it. I haven't read that far before. I just saw the first paragraph of this. I thought it'd be interesting. It doesn't say the same hallucinated package every time. It's just maybe it's got an inventory of 20 or 30 of them. So if you knew which ones it's going to say, the list, and you were a bad guy, instead of it being a fake package, it could be a real package that Google had indexed. Right? So for tests, Lanyardo compiled a list of thousands of how-to questions, a developer asking the ChatGPT. The developers in different movements, Python, Node.js, Go, .NET, that's Microsoft, Ruby, most commonly seek assistance from the LLMs in development. He then asked each model a coding-related question as well as asked it to give me a recommendation for a package related to the question. He also asked each model to recommend 10 more packages to solve the same problem. So he was pushing them into the corner. The results were troubling. A startling 64.5% of the conversations he had with Gemini generated hallucinated packages. With Coral, that number was 29%, GPT-4, 24%. So in other words, it's really happening. When he asked each model the same set of questions 100 times, now why would you do that? Just because I'm sitting here doesn't mean the question I'm asking is unique. I need to be able to go grab this, something off of Meta. There's probably 1,000 programmers that need to do that. They don't know each other. So then he asked them the same topic but said it differently in order to find out if they would still point to the same packages. And it did. So what he's saying is, it's easy to exploit. An attacker armed with the names of a few hallucinated packages could upload packages with the same names to the appropriate repositories. Remember, it also gives the link, which is supposed to be bogus. It would make a link to something like PyPy or Node.js, which the AI knows is a code repository. It's just it's pointing to a package within that subdomain that doesn't exist, except that they could put one there. The bad boys, girls. Owen is mentioning Hugging Face, which I had in a video last week. That's a bad one. Leonardo took one hallucinated package called Hugging Face CLI. CLI is to interact with an interface. Hugging Face is a repository of AI models. I download the open source AI code. I play with it to make it specialized. I think I'm a genius. So I don't put it up on GitHub. I put it up on Hugging Face. I did a video about this and how dangerous that must be. There's all these AI, they tell you which category it's derived from, but then it's specialized. How do you know which ones are bad boys? What does Hugging Face do to check them? That was the questions I asked before. So this guy, Leonardo, how do you say? Leonardo, and I kind of think alike. Developers downloaded that package more than 32,000 times. So he put one out there. He put one out there. And watched how often it got downloaded. So who is this guy and who is Lasso what? Lasso Security. Well, they always have beautiful, I'll accept their cookies. What the hell? Defending the new LLM frontier, large language model. End-to-end security for the generative AI era. Generative AI tells you how to do things that you can't figure out yourself. Pardon me. Now, can you see their logo? Can you see it up here? It's got a cowboy hat. That sounds Wild West. About the team. Let's see who they are. Lasso Securities founding team. Eldad, that's an Israeli name. Lior, that's an Israeli name. Ziv, yeah, Lior Ziv. Haven't we heard of him before? Eldad Schulman, serial tech entrepreneur. I'm sure I've heard of him. Serial tech, this is not his first company. Inventor turned digital sheriff. Oh, ride him, cowboy! Eldad led SegaSec from its founding to its 2020 acquisition. SegaSec. Segment. All right, this is a company he founded. It's now owned by Mimecast, just like they said. I don't know what this is. That building looks like it's in Tel Aviv. Yeah, Yigdal Alon Street, Tel Aviv Yafo. You know who Yigdal Alon was, right? Sure you do. SegaSec acquisition. Mimecast acquisition extends protection beyond the perimeter to defend against brand exploits used to steal money and data. Lexington, Massachusetts. Ever been there? I have. Lexington and Concord. The Minutemen. Bang, bang, bang. I did a video, didn't I? About the bridge in Concord and the estate in the swimming pool when I was a kid. A leading email and data security company today announced acquisition of SegaSec, a provider of digital threat protection. All right. Serial, he's made more than one company and sold it. Lior, resident tech sharpshooter. Lior brings over a decade of experience in cybersecurity, Gen AI and ML models. Ofer Dror. Have I ever known some, Dror means generation in Hebrew. Ofer is a common Israeli name. Drives strategic innovation to tackle LLM sec challenges with a prospector's, cowboy hat out gold mining. Do you think it was in Wyoming or really down here at the gold mine on the Deep River? With a prospector's eye, a cowboy's grit, and deep are there cowboys in Israel? You know, one person I worked with kept a donkey. Yuval Abadi. I think he's Mizrahi. The new deputy in town, helping us lean, efficient, focused on our mission to make human interactions with Gen AI products more secure. Look. Look, you can go to LinkedIn. Oh, wait a minute, let's see if there's any more people. Okay, I want to see who these guys are. All right, can you see the cowboy outfit? He's got the 6-gun. Is he in California or is he in Tel Aviv? Tel Aviv District, Israel. They want to show you his education. Languages. I haven't looked at this before. I haven't looked at this before. What did I say about his name? Abadi, I said, could be Mizrahi. What does that mean? There's Ashkenazi, the German Jews, Eastern Europe, Yiddish. There's the Sfaradim, the Jews of Spain that had been there for a long time, the Golden Age, expelled in 1492 by the first and second decrees of expulsion. I had a kibbutz mother in Israel who at home when she was growing up in Jerusalem spoke Ladino. Ladino is Spanish, Jewish Spanish. Jewish Spanish has spoken more or less in Spain in 1492. So when it goes into exile, it is not as living anymore, right? So it isn't exactly sounding like modern Spanish. And I had a friend from Istanbul, and of course he spoke Turkish, but at home, yes, he was a Jew, a Sephardic Jew, and they spoke Ladino. Turkey and Jerusalem are not in the same country. But Mizrahi are Jews from not Sephardic, not Ashkenazi, not Italian, and maybe from Iraq, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Syria, and I guess that his name was I was looking at him, kind of Mizrahi, from Arabic-speaking countries. Hebrew, native or bilingual proficiency. English, full professional proficiency. Arabic, professional working proficiency. He grew up speaking Hebrew at home, but he may have been living in a mixed village, like somebody I met, with Bedouins. Who knows? I'm pretty good. Now let me see these other guys. What about Dror? People first, self-learner, team player, product builder, passionate about solving. Sounds like me. Chicago Booth approach to finance. University of Chicago Booth School of Business Executive Education. Private equity and venture capital. Università Bocconi. I don't know where that is. I'm going to find out. I'm interested. Is it Spain or Italy? I don't think it's Italy, but let's find out. It is Italy. Where is it? Milan, Italy. It's North Italy. Okay. There we go. So he's been international. Products Analytics Certification, Product School, doesn't say where. Kellogg Executive Education. If it's Kellogg, that's United States. Social Services, Adopt a Sabra organization, nationwide non-governmental organization, taking part in decision-making on the structural and strategic level, blah, 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 blah. Mentoring CEOs. Let's see if we got any. He doesn't mention his languages. But we know he can speak English, right? But it is Tel Aviv. Ride 'em, cowboy! I'm waiting for one of them to be like Arizona. How about Lior Ziv? Not Ziv, Ziv. Tel Aviv. See, I'm just interested. Software engineer in a 10 years building secured. Facebook content manager, volunteer experience. Facebook in Israel. English, Hebrew, Spanish. Spanish is elementary proficiency. He took it in high school. Or do you think he just doesn't really remember his Ladino? Because Ladino is not modern Spanish. To converse in modern Spanish, he'd have to learn a lot. My friend from Turkey, who spoke Ladino growing up at home in Istanbul, I said, oh, expulsion of the Jews from Spain. It's the Jewish exile Spanish from 1492. Well, there are people on the kibbutz that immigrated from, no, I almost can't, he says, I can't understand them. The ones I understand are the other people in the Opan from Brazil speaking Brazilian Portuguese. That's what he told me. Oh, wait a minute. 90% of the Jews that had to leave Spain in 1492 just moved over to Portugal. Do you think the Portuguese, which is a very different language, kind of infiltrated the Ladino? All right, we got one more to go. Elad, not Eldad, Elad. Elad Shulman, open policy, Bar Ilan. That would be Beersheba. Is that right? Or is that in Tel Aviv? I'm forgetting. It's been 50 years. Oh, come on. Are you guys kidding? Why doesn't it let me? Now I need to know. 1 million people have gone to Bar Ilan. Ramat Gan, it's near Tel Aviv. It's just, that was a Biden. A seasoned tech entrepreneur with experience in both corporates and startups. We don't want to see his education. Patents. Detection of domain name impersonation. Oh, yeah. Typo squatting domain names. It looks like Facebook, but it's FAACEBOOK.com, and you didn't notice it when you clicked on the link. That's what he's talking about. And that was back in 2021, and it's a U.S. patent, 11,212,313. Please wait while we search the patent family. I thought they were going to jump right to it. U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Oh, that is where it went. Government computers are so slow, it's incredible. The FCC, my ham radio license, they barely are able to stay online every day. I don't know. They're doing some kind. Oh, aren't they up to date? Don't we have an efficient government there in Washington, D.C. and near Maryland where... Please wait. Why should I wait? All right, see patent. Let's see how... All right, I'm using his link. Wait a minute. It's going to the same place and it's got the same trouble. He didn't even put it on like documents.com. Yeah, it's trying to load, which means it's trying to do... This site can't be reached. PATFTUSPTO.com. So what we saw a moment ago using the Google search, he's trying to go to the same place. And the Google search thing only hid from us, the front end edge server hid from us that the back end has crashed. Because he was trying to use a direct link to his patent. And they don't let us see it. And he has got another U.S. patent, real-time contextual monitoring, intrusion detection, and prevention. And more patents. He's got all these patents. So it doesn't do any good to try to look them up. And he only knows English and Hebrew. I'm just smiling. I think I've seen him before. We just can't seem to avoid these Israelis, can we? They just seem to be into everything that has to do with these days, cybersecurity. Almost any aspect you can think of. And do you think he's appealing to a United States market with this lasso stuff? What do you think? Resources, blog. You want to read their papers? Oh, wait a minute. No, you got to understand. I'm interested in the people. We saw the big shot so far. Diving deeper into AI package hallucinations. That's the one that's getting cited right now by Bar Lanado. Let's see if he has a LinkedIn. There's the actual article that they were plagiarizing from, okay? And there's no link on his name. This is the way I explore. Eldad, I keep saying, excuse me for saying Eldad. Elad. There's an Eldad also. But this guy, Eliran Suiza. Let's see if Google knows who he is. Pardon me. See, I just get going. This is fun. LinkedIn. Now, again, this name is not, I don't think it's European. He's a full-stack developer with professional skills in all its aspects. Nothing will stop him from learning new technologies. He will happily pass the knowledge on. He's in Ramat Gan as of 2000, and he has a Facebook page. Elegant looking guy, Tel Aviv. These are all his specialties, full stack. He's hiding. College of Management company website. Okay. These two we already know. Yuval Abadi, David Primor, Eldad Schulman, load more. I'm looking for unique names. No, that's mainly them, and the only one is this guy Primor. Let's see if anybody knows him. Come on, David. LinkedIn. Oh, wait a minute. Sonomi. I think I've seen this guy before. Oh, yeah, there we go. All right. He says, at Sonomi, I spent the first half of my career as a strategic cyber expert and leader. Where do you think he got his... See, this is what I want to show you. Co-founder and CEO, a lieutenant colonel retired from the Israel Defense Force Unit 8200. And previously, technology director at Israel Cyber Authority. See, this is the out-of-date biography online. Once you leap forward, you won't go back. I've been here before. Yeah, Roy Azoulay. I've chased him down before. And Rotem Shemesh. Shemesh means sun. Yep. Yeah, I've seen these guys. I've made a video about these people a long time ago. It's all inbred, isn't it? They all know each other. Wonder how that happens. Do you think they go to lunch together? Okay, folks. Started with the article Dark Reading, and are just having fun. It has the Israeli thing to it, and it's that lasso part in the cowboy hat. Let me explain what I mean. You know that I chase chicken trucks. I see them going by every day. North Carolina Poultry Federation. Right? Chickens. Where does NC rank in poultry production? Number 2. North Carolina ranks number 2 in the nation for broiler production. The poultry industry creates more than 109,000 jobs for North Carolinians. One hen lays over 300 eggs per year. February 12, 2024. Now, why did I bring this up? When I was in Israel, among other things, besides picking oranges, occasionally I had to work in the lul. The lul is the Hebrew word for the chicken run, like vaccinating them or loading them in the middle of the night onto trucks like I see every day. Israel doesn't have any beef grazing land. Texas does. Oklahoma does. Kansas does. Israel doesn't. So Israel concentrated very early on becoming like North Carolina is with poultry. They grow chickens. They literally grew chickens everywhere. Still do. The main meat protein for a healthy population. You can cage them. You can import grains from Africa by ship. You don't even have to grow all their food. But beef cattle, lasso, doesn't exist. They're just pulling our leg. They must know us very well. Steve AB40, just having fun, reminiscing a little bit too. St. Stephen 73.